Amanda here from Amanda 62. This is a memorial that I thought was the World War Memorial, which was the next one down. If you remember back in the opening of the Anzac, where I walked across the Anzac Bridge after it was opened with my suitcase. I actually found some information about this memorial. It's about a politician that was our first politician, I believe. He was born on the 29th of May 1811 and he passed away on the 2nd of March 1888. Now Hobart was founded in 1804. So he was the earliest politician in the colony of 7 years in the mid-19th century. Well, I wouldn't have said 19, I would have said 18th century. But he was actually born in New South Wales in a electorate area called Pembroke. And if you're not an Australian, we've got our electoral areas are divided up into certain zones. We've got Franklin, Pembroke, Bass and all that sort of, as you go on and on and on. Each state has got a different area. We may have, we've got a Pembroke down here in Tasmania as well. So I'll put a link into here. But he was in the Tasmanian Legislative Council, and he was one of the original members, and he was elected in 1856, and he served 2 months in the military. As I said, there's a whole heap of stuff here. I will put it in as a link. And yeah, now I am going to be walking along the bicycle track, but I'm going to be starting this video from where I left off after I walked the bridge. So you'll see from there on what is up the road and up the track a little bit better. And yeah, hopefully you'll like this video. It may be several parters, like part 1, part 2, maybe a part 3, because I'm going all the way out to Austin's Ferry. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy this video. This is just an announcement that coming up in the next couple of days, Dark Mofo starts again. If anybody can remember my last year's video, Dark Mofo, call that art. Yes, it's totally different. I don't think the crosses are coming back again this year, because there was that much of an uproar about them, but yes, that's another video for you to keep your eyes open for. Yes, I'll try and do a bit more than what I did last year, which was just that video on the crosses, but they were that much of a controversy about them, that's why I did them. So I just had, and plus it was a really nice calm night in Hobart, what I can remember. So yeah, okay, I'm still walking along the track. I've just had a drink of water at one of the free drink stations along the track, and yeah, we'll just keep on plodding along. Right, now I've just got to where I finished off, well, where I ended up with this camera, which is the one I used before I used the night vision one. Yeah, over there behind the trees is that pin that held the floating pontoons together. Okay, now I'll turn the camera around and you'll be able to see what I'm looking at. A bit of leaves and all that on it, but we don't have weeds, as I said in the video. We don't have previous video. We don't have weeds. We don't have weeds growing up through the tracks, and the tracks disappearing on from the grass, because the company that owns this is Hezron, which is a, I don't know, a Tasmanian funded organisation, but I think it runs by itself. I'm not 100% sure. What I'm walking on would have been the other railway track. They've only kept one of them. I mean, you can't expect a train to run on nothing at all. It's a nice day, a little bit of wind, which is good, nice and refreshing. A lot of bike riders out today. It's the first day of June, so yeah, nice day to be out and about. That's why I thought I'd come for a walk instead of being stuck inside. But yeah, we look after our state. A beautiful place called Hobart. That's where I live. Now, this building here is a rowing shed that's coming up, and they've got rowing shells in there, and they could do a rowing training in the early mornings. Been there and done that. Early mornings is pretty hard. It's the Collegiate Rowing Club as well as the Derwent Mercantile Club, so that's an all-girls school. That over there, that's where they put their rowing shells in, and they're very, very light actually compared to what you'd think they would be. And there's one term that I had to learn very, very quickly when I was at school doing rowing. A crab. A crab is when you put your oar in a little bit too, or you pull it out a little bit too late, and less than a split second, that oar can hit you in the guts and literally throw you out of the rowing shell. It cuts that much of a force behind it because you're racing it at rowing at racing speed, which is going fairly fast. Now, this bit of bushy area on the other side of this rowing shed, there used to be a building there, not quite up to New Norfolk, which is way up the river. We've got Boyer. They make paper. It's not, well, everybody in Hobart knows it's Boyer, but it's now Nortaz have got the ownership of it. But they used to bring all their paper, rolls of paper down on barges with a tug in between, so you have your barge on either side. And this is where they used to store it, and they've demolished the building because it wasn't being used anymore. And they've reclaimed it with bushland native trees that are in the area, so that's pretty good for the environment. You can walk in there. They've got walk tracks around, and yeah, it's a nice little area. I don't think they've got any picnic areas in there, but I haven't actually had a look myself, but I'm just having a quick look as we're walking along, and I can't see any picnic tables. So, but there is a wharf. There used to be a ferry that used to come in and you could get off, because just over there, and you can see in the distance on the other side of the highway, that's the Botanical Gardens. And of course that road is known as the Lower Domain Road. That's the one we went under when we walked to go onto the bridge. Also they can go down, which is the road I crossed before when I said I was in the Viff. If you watched the video where I said I'm getting over a cold, that will go into the city, so you can go from the city straight in, or you can go over the road to the eastern shore. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any picnic tables or anything in there, but they've just brought it back to what it was, native trees in there. Just up here, there was a train station, and there's only the outline of the platform left. We have had all our train stations taken away from the platform, so you'll see train stations. Well, you won't see train stations, you'll see train platforms as I'm walking along. just the concrete walls. Okay, well, I'll just keep on plodding along, and when I find something interesting I'll turn the camera on. This is at the Botanical Gardens. This is virtually what you'll see all along the track. Just the concrete walls and the dirt on top. And the railway line, which is not being used, on the other side. So the train would have pulled up against the platform, and somewhere along there would have been the station building. Okay, I'll keep on plodding along. I think the next, not the next one, but the next one after that is very unique. I'll show you what I mean. There's an old signpost for the train driver. They was telling what size, what sort of corner it is. We don't have that measurements anymore in Australia. We're metric, so that's imperial, I think. That's what England and United States work with. Okay, I thought I might show you. If I see any more things like that, I'll show you. You might not be able to see it, but that's a concrete pile. It has got steps on the other side. It was a footbridge that went over the railway line. And yeah, I know it's been taken away. I think we've only got one factual footbridge on over the whole railway line, and that's the one at the Centre Domain. So yeah. Oh well, I'll keep on plodding along. Now there's only one side of it at the moment because they've demolished the other side and they put the bike track in, so there wouldn't have been enough room for the bike track because there's a fair bit of room between the tracks and the things. So yeah, they would have actually walked on the platform. So yeah, that's another one that's gone. There would have been a building there somewhere, I'm not quite sure where. And that bridge in the distance that you can see, let's see if I can zoom in, that's the Brook Highway. You go on that to go out to the Midlands Highway, and also to go to up to the Norfolk as well. That's our main thoroughfare out of Hobart. So yeah, let's see how far we've got to walk. There's toilets here and everything, so this won't tell us how far I think we've got to walk, but I'd say we've got to walk a fair distance. So yeah, there's soccer fields and hockey fields over there, so yeah, cater for everybody. Okay, see you until the next information. Okay, here we are. Next is Newtown, which is only just up the road a little bit. That's 0.8 of a kilometre. Moonah is 2.2, Glenorchy 4.8, Berrydale, which is 2.8, Claremont and Cadbury's, where they make chocolate, that's 10.5, and Austin's Ferry is 11.2. I'm going to try and get out to Austin's Ferry, but I'm not 100% sure, so we'll see how far I go, but I'm going to go to Glenorchy and get something to eat, so because I'm in a bit of a drink as well. So yeah, the next station is going to be the interesting one, but we've got, well, we did have, I should say, a factory in Hobart, in the outer suburbs, because we're in the outer suburbs and we're not actually in the dead centre of Hobart anymore. Yeah, well, I won't let you just bore you with me walking and talking. So when I get up to the place, there's nothing really left of it, but I can tell you a little bit about it. Okay, see you then. Right, that's a hockey field. They look bigger in real life than what they do on TV. That's no pity one. But that's not what I'm going to show you. This is what I'm going to show you. That chimney is the only thing that's left standing, apart from the side walls of what was Rosella factory in Hobart. Now I'll tell you a bit of history about it. Right, the company was started in Carlton, which is in the suburb, back in 1895. It became a rather well-known company, and this building here, it says here by 1924, Rosella was making 63 products in factories in Adelaide, Hobart, which is this one, Bendigo, which is Victoria, and Richmond, which is in Melbourne. Now, going on a bit further, it says here in 1929, Sir Douglas Mawson. Now, I'm doing, there's going to be a video coming up about him. I'm in the process of doing it. It's going to be a fairly well in-depth one. He was the first explorer to go to the Antarctic, and he got donated by Rosella cans of soup and jam. So it's a fairly big area, and yeah, they demolished it quite a few years ago, but it was rather dilapidated. Yeah, I was in it. I had a chance of getting in to have a look at it before it was demolished, and yeah, it was a fairly big area inside. But I'm not quite sure what that chimney would have been used for. But up a bit further is the railway station I have been talking about. So we'll go and have a look at that. Right, this is the station I've been talking about. There's the platform on the other side. You can see how narrow the footpath has had to go because they can't demolish it. There's a business on that platform now. It's called the Newtown Railway Station Nursery. The station is actually gone now, but they've built another building on top of the site. But that was the Newtown Railway Station platform. So yeah, so we're out in Newtown now. And out to Newtown we've got a 24-hour Coles and a 24 hours Kmart. Okay, let's keep on walking. Just thought I might do a bit of free advertising for them. Newtown Railway Station Nursery. It's got a cafe inside, which the food's good, and it's the 2008 Nursery Garden Industry Awards winner, the small business. So it's a fairly good area, and it's open 7 days a week. Phone number is 62282255. I'll put that in as a photo. With a sign with the 7 days, but you got the website on the end of the sign there. I might actually put it in as a link, the website as well. There's the website. There's a sign that I read out with the phone number on it. Yeah, 2255. So it's 62282255. Open 7 days a week. Highly recommended. Right, that bridge you're looking at there, that's a road that goes over the top of it. It's known as Newtown Road that goes over the top. Or Tower Road, sorry, Tower Road. I'll get my streets muddled up now. So that's another bridge that goes over the railway line. The car just went over it just then. And yeah, we'll see how far I can walk. I don't think I'm going to make it all the way out to Wassons Ferry today, but that'll be another future video. Okay. Right, what you're looking at is not a new art form for dark mofo. It's the soot marks from when trains used to run underneath. Bit of water seepage through, but yeah, it's still black from when the diesel and steam locomotives used to run through here. Yeah, but one thing I cannot work out is this is over the railway line. I would say at one stage they must have had something a bit too high, and it looks like it's might have clipped the bridge. Okay. Yes, I am right. There's the other platform that goes along. So this one was a long one, and that one down there was a very short one. Got me confused. That means only short trains could pull up to that one. But yeah, this is Moonah station platforms on the old train line. Okay,